Late as usual.
Hey guys.
Hi.
We need to just start saying they're going to start at 6:15, and then maybe
we do.
We'll get it together.
No, because then if we do that, then we're gonna
It'll be even later.
6:30. Okay.
Still be even later. I mean, it is my
no, because then if we do
every
that,
time, but it's always my fault.
That's me.
it'll be
Sorry.
even later.
Sorry.
I'm trying to pull it up on my computer. There it is.
How is everyone on this fine Friday Eve?
Wishing it were Friday evening.
Me too. I'm so excited.
I would be on my way to the river.
Oh yeah.
Already.
Are y'all like camping?
Yeah, well, we're bringing our trailer. A friend of ours has a place there, so we have like a place to hook up and everything, so we could just go park right there and then have the whole river to ourselves.
Wait, so are you all? Do you have like a little RV or do you tent camp?
It's like a camper. Yeah, it's like a toy hauler, but it has like a bed up top, and then there's like chairs and couches that turn into
it's not like a full thing, but just like a small.
Yeah, it's not like, but it does have like a working refrigerator and sink and bathroom.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's not like super huge, but it's not like really tiny either.
But it's good enough for y'all and Robin, yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect for the three of us. So.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I love it. We got it last summer, and it's really came in handy, especially during COVID, because we can just go to the desert and camp for a weekend if we want, you know? Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
we were still able to like get outside and do things. I mean, it's a lot easier when you have like a toddler or just a baby. Like it's easier for them to have their own space to like sleep and stuff rather than tent camping. Or we used to just like sleep in our Jeep. We would just camp and sleep in the Jeep. But now like we have the kid and the two dogs. Like we did something a little bit
yeah. I'm not real outdoorsy. Camping in general is not a fun time for me. Now, if I had a place like an indoor area to sleep, I think I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we are kind of glamping, I guess.
Yeah, I need plumbing and electricity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally.
Molly.
Hi, Molly. Hi, Molly. We like just went live, so you didn't really miss anything because we're always late.
I'm sorry, I'm late.
No, you're fine. We're gonna give you some time and see if you're still gonna make it. So, we waited a little bit, and then I was like, they'll hop on when they get here. I think Marcy might hop on. Who knows? Yeah. But it's fine.
Kat won't be on tonight, Monica.
Yeah.
She's got work stuff, and Crystal has work stuff, so Marcy may have just forgotten because I think she was planning on being on. Hopefully no family emergencies have happened. We need to update on that from last week.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Guys.
I know it's Thursday. I said Friday Eve.
Friday.
Never heard that for Thursday.
Not Friday Eve.
The day before.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like people I know that say that. And everyone's like, you make no sense.
All my days blend together. It doesn't even matter.
Right. No, I feel you. The only reason I know it's Thursday is because it's the first day of my vacation. I'm off for a week. So
yes. Love it.
So of course I was counting the days.
Just finishing school. We've got some like awesome stuff going on.
I'm so excited. Yeah. And I literally so bad. Like it's like the second to last day of classes today. Completely slept through my second period. Was late to my third period. Just
Deja, it does. I can't tell you. I can't stress enough how much it doesn't matter.
I know, but I was like, Nami accidentally going back to sleep.
Yeah, you're fine. Don't worry.
I stayed up to 2 a.m. watching someone do tarot readings on TikTok because I was like, yes. Like I don't know what type of mood I was in, but
Doesn't matter.
Not. Molly, don't you have some exciting stuff happening? Like, aren't you moving or something?
Yes.
Yeah, I do. It's a lot. I finish at my current job next Sunday,
Yay.
which I'm so excited about. Like, I love it, but I can't with retail. Like, I finish work today at 8 p.m.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know how that feels. I had like a couple of shifts that were until like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night this week. So I was like, "Grr, I can't wait for vacation."
Right, and I'm on like a 6-day stretch. Like, I just done day 2 today, so I've got like
Wow.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday left. But yeah, and then I'm spending the summer at my dad's, and then I'm moving in August, and
That's so exciting, Molly.
Yes, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
I know
All right, so I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. I'll go with Amy first. You're first on my screen, so.
Okay. So I'm Amy from Amy Reads. And you guys probably already know me because most of you guys, I think, have been here before. I read a lot of different stuff, contemporary, thrillers, mystery, weird stuff. I started getting a little bit more into literary fiction. I try to read some horror, usually only around Halloween. We talked last time how I want to do that more. But yeah, that's me. Now, are we talking about the book and our ratings yet, or just introducing ourselves?
Yeah, you can go ahead and say what you rated it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I haven't actually decided what I'm giving House of Hollow yet. It's somewhere between a 3 and a 4. A 3 seems too low and a 4 seems too high, but I don't give half stars anymore. But if I did, it'd be 3.5. So I'm somewhere in between there. I haven't given it an official rating, I don't think, on Goodreads. So
Awesome. Carol.
All right, my name is Carol. My channel is Carol Marie Reads, and I read a little bit of everything, and just a lot of horror, a lot of mystery, thrillers. And I gave the book 3 stars, and like the farther I get away from it, the more I'm thinking it's a generous 3 stars. But yeah, I might change my mind after we discuss. So
that happens a lot.
Yeah, I usually end up changing.
Usually I end up liking the books more after we talk about them.
I think maybe like the first 3 live discussions we ever had, I was like solid on my rating, and then after that I would always go, I'm between these two.
Yeah,
just always, because I knew that I was going to change my mind, or
someone else always has a different perspective or something that maybe like you miss.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. Molly.
I'm so sorry. 1 second. Sorry, I was yawning.
What?
I was yawning. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
It's like past 11 p.m. Hi, I'm Molly from Mind and Molly. I read a bit of everything too. I'm getting a bit more into literary fiction at the moment. I hate historical fiction, however. Currently starting my biggest challenge of a book yet.
Oh.
No, it's a good book, but it's so sad.
I know.
I'm afraid to read it because I'm afraid it's going to put me into a depression that I won't be able to get.
Right?
Like, it's going to make me feel too much.
That's how I feel, Amy, but here we go. Apparently I like to talk to myself.
Yeah, you're just a masochist. You're just...
Yeah, it's fine. And I gave House of Hollow 5 stars.
Yeah, you loved it.
Yes, I did.
That is awesome.
The cover gets like 10 stars. The cover is
beautiful.
So, yes.
Right.
Morgan is also reading A Little Life right now.
You can hit up each other when you need emotional support while reading.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Deja from Deja's Book World, and I read a lot of things too. I don't know. Right now, I'm really into romance and thrillers, and I give the book 4.5 stars. I had like one big issue with it that made me take it down from a 5, but I really, really liked it when I read it. And yeah, especially because like I feel like I read it really well as an ebook, and most things when they're ebooks, I hate everything about it. Like I don't like reading ebooks. So even like the fact that I still really liked it as an ebook was like pretty groundbreaking.
Awesome.
So it seems like most everyone really enjoyed it. I'm with you, Deja. I also feel like I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I think I was sitting somewhere at like a 4, middle of the way through the book. And then towards the end, when things start getting revealed, I just like loved it that much more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's keeping me from giving it a 5 though. I'm not sure. I just didn't. When I finished it, I wasn't just like in awe over it, but I still thought it was really good. So I feel like a 4.5 is kind of where I'm sitting. There are a lot of 3s and then 4s and 4.5s in the chat too. So Monica gave it 3. Jamie gave it 3. We have a 4.5 and a 4. So everyone's kind of all sitting in that area, which is cool. Which means, all positive, I feel like. I haven't seen anyone give it like a low rating, but I haven't really looked into the ratings. Like, I didn't really scroll through ratings or anything on Goodreads. So
it's got a 4.19 on Goodreads.
Okay, so that's, yeah. That's cool. But yeah, I'm Raine from Brews and Binds. I read mostly horror, thrillers. I like fantasy sometimes as well. And yeah, I like weird books. But why don't we, before we get into spoilers, do you guys have any like general thoughts or general things you want to say? Just to like, I don't know, maybe someone who might be in the chat who hasn't read the book yet but wants to know if they should read it.
I think it's got like enough creepiness and weirdness to like keep, at least in my perspective, I don't even know how to say what I'm trying to say. It wasn't what I expected it to be, but it was successful in like some of the creepy writing or like the strangeness of it. I really enjoyed. My issue is just like what it was, the predictability, and like I don't know. I don't know what I thought it was supposed to be, but it wasn't this. But it's not like a bad thing. It just wasn't like what I wanted.
I feel like the only things I had heard, or the first things I'd heard about it was, oh my God, this has like jaw-dropping plot twists. And I was like, oh, I love it. Want to be shocked. And I feel like the twist of what was going on, I was like, oh, well, yeah. It seemed kind of like, well, that's kind of what I assumed. And I thought they were going to go in a different direction and really like, that was like a red herring but it was like, no, it really is. And it still was a good reveal. And I'm sure that there's clearly other readers who weren't thinking that, who were shocked by it. But I guess I was just thinking it was something along those lines anyway. And that wasn't, I was hoping to be like, gasping. I love a good plot twist. But I think that's just individual,
Yeah, it is.
I personally really like the writing, but I feel like if you don't like writing that's like really descriptive, like you probably won't like this. Like you don't. Like, and if you know that you just like plain, simple, like pretty, like straightforward writing, like I wouldn't recommend, honestly. I feel like it would be annoying.
Yeah, I feel like I get really annoyed with overly descriptive writing, but for some reason it worked.
This one really worked for me.
Yeah. But I feel like it was like descriptive, just the right amount. And then I don't know, I always enjoy books with like sisters. I don't know why it is. Maybe it's because I have so many sisters. But I just really enjoy books with sisters, and then like learning about their relationships between each other, like, and how like obsessed over each other they were. That was so interesting to me. And then, oh man, when it got into the creepy stuff, like someone had mentioned like the elk deer head man. That was so creepy to me.
They described that. Like every time that character popped up, you got more description, and I was like, there definitely were gross parts. Like I think I texted you all when I was in like the first quarter of it, and I was like, y'all, this book nasty. I was like, this book is grossing me out, and we're only in chapter 8. Like,
yeah, some of the descriptions of like the different smells and stuff.
Oh, it was so smelly. It was a very stinky book.
And I feel like I liked the writing because it had like a lot of nature in it, and I don't know, like I really like nature, so I like that. And then also like I feel like it was very lyrical and beautiful, but like also horrific. So like I feel like if you were looking at it objectively, it would just like sounds really pretty, sounds really nice. But then if you like think about like what the words actually mean, you're like, kind of gross, kind of disgusting.
Yeah. I also, Monica, thought that it gave me Hazelwood vibes, and I didn't like Hazelwood.
You know, now that you say that, like I read that book, I didn't like the Hazelwood either. I gave it like 2 stars.
Yeah, me too.
I have such a hard time with YA, like, but I'm weird YA and thriller YA. I seem to be okay with contemporary.
I keep reading it, and then I
never read the Hazelwood, so I can't compare it, but it gave me like Shauna McGuire vibes, like it would have been part of like the Wayward Children series. Even though I didn't really enjoy the Wayward Children series, it's kind of like it just gave me those same vibes, but in a better way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you mean with that, Raine. It kind of had a mix between that and Wilder Girls for me, and I love both of those.
Yeah.
There was a lot of body horror in this.
And I enjoy both the Wayward Children series and that. I'm just really bad at guessing shit, like in general. Like
me too.
I can't guess thrillers. Like it's why a lot of people don't like The Silent Patient, but it's like one of my favorite books.
I've still not read that. I don't know the twist.
I want to read it so bad still, but
yeah.
Deja, let's buddy read it this summer.
So for me, like I love that, but I know so many people that don't, and like that's fine.
Yeah.
But maybe I should read the Hazelwood now.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say maybe you would like it. Definitely.
I do own it, so.
I think isn't it a series, a duology? There might be more than.
I think there's.
This is the second one.
Yeah, I don't know if that one's like the final one or not, though.
I think I just really got thrown off, like. When she released, like the author released, like a little blurb, like the first sentence or whatever, and like the prologue of the book where it talks about some woman coming in her room, I was just expecting it to be like more vulgar and violent or weird. Like I just expected more from that paragraph or whatever.
The prologue was one of the strongest parts of the whole book.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
The book was bad, but the prologue was, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, it like really
set the scene.
Yeah,
but then
definitely drew me into the book.
Up to it, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if you're someone who's been reading, like Monica says, like Horrid and
The Devouring Grey.
Oh yeah, and what's that author that I really like wrote Wilder Girls.
Rory
Powers.
Stuff like that, then I would recommend this book.
This also it's like Sawkill Girl or Sawkill
Yep.
Girl.
Yeah, that's it.
Those vibes too, I think.
I haven't read that one yet, but I
like Sawkill Girl.
I have it. It's on my shelf.
But I do think the writing is definitely closer to like Hazelwood, really descriptive, flowery, fantastical plants. And I was just, there was a lot of repetitive writing, which isn't necessarily bad. Also, one thing that stuck out to me so bad was this is clearly an American author who was writing a British book, and like she would just put in, and I don't know, Molly, you're British. I don't know if you like felt like it didn't seem authentic, but like as an American who read like British books by British authors, it felt like randomly she'd just throw in like a British phrase, but it didn't feel genuine. I don't know, there was just something about it that I was like, oh, she's definitely American, and she like spent time there and wanted to write a book about it, but isn't like immersed in that culture.
Yeah.
But
I told my boyfriend about the book while I was reading, so that means it's a good one. I feel like that's a tell for me too. I'll always tell my husband about a book when I'm really, really enjoying it. And this one, I didn't tell him about it. So I'm like, maybe that's why it's not a full 5-star read, but I feel like it's even too weird for him. He's not into like super weird stuff, but I don't know. I think it depends. But a lot of the time, if I do like a book, I always tell my husband about it. Do you guys do that with your significant other or your best friend? Or
yeah, I read it with my significant other. Don't laugh, Deja. That's not funny. No,
I taught him my husband how to pretend that he's interested. So I'll like explain a book to him and I'll be like, and now you say, oh, that's so cool. And then just pretend. I just need to tell you.
Now is the point where you put your phone down for 20 seconds and let me tell you about this book.
Yeah.
Then like you're giving me your time.
You talk to your boyfriend about your book, Deja?
Oh, the boyfriend I don't have? Yeah, that one. But I did tell him about this book. No, it's a whole situation.
Molly,
ask me again next week if we're back together, and we'll see what happens then. Anyways,
I thought you were just giving Deja a savage burn.
Yeah.
No, but to be fair, I did text him about this book. To be fair, I did before because I read it like at the beginning of the month. And I think I only told him ever about like 2 books. So.
Oh my God.
I want to leave.
Ask me again next week. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, okay. Jamie said, I'm reading Soft Kill Girls for Strange-a-thon. Will you let me know what prompt you're reading it for? Because I might fit it in.
LGBTQ plus probably.
Is that probably what okay. I don't know. I haven't read the synopsis in a while, so I don't know where it's set or anything like that. But
I would say weird setting.
I would say it has a weird setting.
Really?
But you don't, well.
Does it?
It's like a town, but like the town is kind of weird. So that's why I would say it's a weird setting.
It's an island where a bunch of people go missing all the time.
Yeah.
I think you could count that, and I think to say any more would be a spoiler.
Okay. Interested. I'm definitely interested in adding it to my TBR because I have it on my shelf and I've wanted to read it, and then you guys are making me want to read it by comparing it to this. So, before we get into spoilers, let me just check out some comments.
I have a hive on my face for no reason. Just one, a singular hive.
Singular.
I'm just full on breaking out, but that's just my life.
I get random hives all the time for no reason, and people be like, what's wrong with your skin? I'm like, oh, like I'm having an allergic reaction. And they're like, oh, yeah, I don't know.
Tell them it's to them. Tell them you're allergic to them.
Yeah.
Say, I'm allergic to people asking me rude questions about my skin.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't ask me about that. Rude.
Yeah, I would say it's not upsetting.
Yeah. I do not have my TBR set at all, and
I have it for
I'm sorry, LBGB. Never mind. I can't talk right now. But yes, odd setting and LBGTQ.
Mm-hmm.
For song. What were you saying, Deja?
Oh, I have my TBR is only 2 books, and neither of them I would say are that weird.
Hmm.
As long
So,
as you just make it work.
Like we were saying, it doesn't have to be a weird book as long as it like somewhat fits the prompts. Like no one's gonna.
I think it's just because both of those books are ones that I've been meaning to read. So like that's why I picked them because I'm excited for them.
Yeah, cool. No, that's what you should do. I feel like it's more motivating when you're able to pick books that you actually like really feel like reading.
Yeah. Plus, I was trying to like lower it down, and I've read a lot of mixed media books, so I feel like I don't have that many left to read.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, you don't have to complete all the prompts. I'm partially running this.
You don't have to do anything.
You don't have to even do the prompts. You could just be like, I'm going to read some weird books this week.
Or you can do that with no weird books. Okay, I literally am doing Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and Wolf Song by TJ Klune. Neither of those are weird. I mean,
Well, Obsidio, I would think.
Yeah.
maybe could be
It's
weird.
sci-fi, so I could kind of.
Sci-fi, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, you can do whatever you want.
If you can make them work for the prompts. Monica, I don't know if you read like any fantasy or anything. You might find some fantasy that are non-human, but
Yeah,
we'll
that's
have
why I went with Wolf Song because I don't know if in Obsidio there's gonna be non-human POV. Like I don't know, so I went with Wolf Song because werewolves.
yes. Awesome. I think the one that I am going to read for that prompt has like werewolf POV in it. Pretty sure.
And I put that one for like mythology or folklore because like lycanthropes, werewolf shifters are in like a lot of mythology and folklore. So
Yeah.
So when looking for non-human POVs, I discovered that is a whole trope called xenofiction. So it might, and I'll type it out. I'm sorry, y'all. Where I have this arm, it's like I have to type really slow. But it's called xenofiction, and so that might help you all find some. Because like Goodreads has lists,
Yeah.
just like xenofiction, and a lot of it is like from animal point of views, and there'll be like children's books and stuff. But you can find stuff that's not stuff that's like aliens or monsters or just creatures or
Right.
whatever.
paranormal.
But it, but it
Yeah.
also falls under xenofiction. So if you all want to like look for that, that might help.
For sure.
Or
Yeah.
even a book like if you think like The Lovely War or like Circe, like books that take place from the POV of gods, I feel like that would count too.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not human.
No.
They're not human.
All right. So before we get into spoilers, I'll just warn you guys right now. So anyone who hasn't read the book yet might want to take off at this point because we're just going to get right into it. I'm sorry if you hear frozen in the background.
It's really setting the mood.
That's my jam, man.
It's one of Robin's toys. I didn't realize it was that loud, and then I'm like, wait, they probably can't hear me. But yeah, we're gonna get into some spoilers. So, just a pre-warning right now.
I feel like we normally get
And
into spoilers.
fiction, that's really interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, I feel like we normally get into spoilers immediately, so kind of interesting that we didn't with this book.
I know. And usually I forget to give a warning. All right, cool. So I guess we could just jump right into that prologue, which is like, I feel like really good. Like a great start to the book, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to also complain about one more thing.
No, go for it.
I just feel like it was such like a weird pace, like about Iris like not remembering things and how it was revealed to her. Like that threw me off too. I don't just like with her. I don't know. Like, why did you not like question it more? I don't know.
Yeah.
I just would be like, what the hell happened to me? And why, like, and her mom hating Gray, was it the oldest? Is that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And just like the falling out there, like me, even as like a young teen or like school, even then I would have been like, what the heck? What's happened? Like, I would have been way more curious. And I felt like she just like let it
Yeah,
slide.
whatever. This is how it is.
Yeah. She's so
Mhm.
accepting.
Well, she does. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think the pacing was a little weird. Honestly, I didn't mind it, but it was a little. I was like, especially I don't know why, but the part where like they were like kind of driving and like after the whole hospital and driving part to me, I was like, I don't know, like it didn't bother me, but like for some reason, like I don't like I could see it not being in the book, and it would have been fine if that makes sense. Like it feel like it didn't necessarily fit in the book. Again, it didn't bother me, but like it was just like this feels a little different.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that it really like ebbed and flowed as far as my enjoyment. Like I would be kind of bored, and then I'd be like, "Oh, that was interesting," and then I'd be really bored again, and then I'd be like, "Oh, that's pretty cool," and then I'd be bored again. So it was kind of that's sort of why I'm like kind of in the middle. I agree, Jamie. Yeah.
Yeah, the prologue was great. It's so great. It set my expectations so high, and I feel like the rest of the book was just not at the same level. It definitely like starts off with a bang, and then like it takes a while for the story to really progress.
Yeah, I really liked the beginning though. Like I liked them, like the two sisters going around trying to figure out the mystery. I really liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too, and I don't think, as far as like the pacing, I don't think it bothered me too much. I mean, this book isn't really all that big. I don't know. Maybe it was because it was just so easy to read that it felt a lot faster to me than like anything else that would have been a little slower paced. It just didn't feel. The pacing didn't feel slow to me. I don't know why.
It didn't
But
feel
maybe
slow
I was
either. Just
enjoying.
I don't know.
Very uneven. Yeah. I mean, I guess when you have like that prologue and then like you're trying to get a feel for this like family and how they work, like these sisters are like weirdly like attached, but like also they don't like they're not that close. Like I don't know, like there's
the way that Iris explains how they are like how they are towards each other. Like you would think that they weren't like one they haven't seen in months or one's on the other side of the world. Like she makes it sound like they are just attached at the hip.
Yeah.
They're not. And like Gray even seems like I don't know, like she seems like she'd be someone to be tough to be close to unless she's like manipulating you or whatever. But it just wasn't aligning with what Iris was saying.
Okay, this is what I feel like the pace was like. Okay, it started off really good, and then it kind of did like a slow build to something, and then there was like nothing, and then it got slow again for no reason, and then it kind of did like the building anticipation again to the end, which was like wild.
I feel like that middle part was when you find out that Gray is alive, and she like comes out.
Yes,
That's,
it didn't bother me, but like it was just different. I don't know.
I felt like once Gray came back till the end, when they go like when I'm forgetting everybody's names, when Iris and the guy, what was his name? Tyler.
Yeah.
Like when they go into the whatever, I don't know what we're calling that, the in between.
It's like I think the halfway place or something like that.
Basically, like a hellish purgatory of sorts. I feel like everything was a bit, like Deja was saying, like the hospital bit, and then being on the road. I don't know. I felt like I was just like, where are we going with this? Like,
yes, I liked,
and I hated Gray. Like, I was like, this bitch is who you walk.
I liked it better when Gray wasn't there.
Yes,
like, it was more of like a distant figure than when she was actually in the book.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
I think it would have helped Gray. Maybe her coming back at the very end of the book rather than kind of midway. I think,
or like 3/4 of the way, that being like a twist of like, okay, she is
alive, because I think it would have helped.
Comatose.
Yeah, I think it would have added to the anticipation too, to get to the end, because you still want to find out what happened to her. Like, where is she? Is she alive? like, because I agree with Deja, that whole leading up to Gray being found was super interesting. Like them trying to figure out the mystery. They have this letter from her, like, if you're reading this, I might already be dead. And like, I don't know, that was just like riveting. And then we find her, and I do think that there was a bit of a lull after that, after they do find that she's alive.
Yeah, she's not the. Yeah, I liked her better when she was this like mysterious person that sewed messages into clothes and all this stuff, and then she came out and she was either like comatose or she was just being really like not great. And yeah, like Carol said, like I didn't see, you know, she talks a couple times about, Iris does, about like breaking her pinky because Gray did, and LeGray like kind of wanted her to, I guess, or like made her do it maybe. And I don't know, like that level of like devotion and connection, I just didn't actually see, even between her and whatever the middle one's name was.
Viv or Vivi.
Viv.
Vivian.
Vivi or Vivi. I don't know how to.
Viv, I think. No, Vivi?
Vivi.
Because her name's Vivi.
Yeah.
Vivi.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Molly?
Just see, the thing with me is I kind of look at it in a different way. Like, I kind of like the fact that you're starting off the book seeing Gray from Iris's point of view. Like, Iris is the youngest, so like she's just like obviously looking up to the eldest, you know what I mean? And then obviously that middle part, you are kind of like, why do you look up to her, like, the fuck? But then like that's kind of the point. And then like near the end you see that like they find out that she's not the person that they thought she was.
They're not even.
And I kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's just my.
I get that, Molly.
I get that too. I think finding her finding her about halfway through the book, I don't know, I think it just would have, I don't know, hit in a different way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, now that we're discussing it, I'm like,
it's almost like expecting that finding her would have been the solution to the book, like from the synopsis, versus finding her and then all these other things in storylines like get revealed. Like it's almost like I didn't expect everything that happened after finding her to happen. I thought like it was just like
found her. Now where are we going? We're only halfway, and I felt like that maybe that pacing after that fact could have been a little more. There was like a lull in that third quarter.
Yeah, I think when they found her, it kind of was weird. Like they didn't know what to do with her being there, and they were like, I don't know. So I feel like it would have been better if she was like snatched from the hospital or something, and then taken then. Like then they would have had to go try and get her back, and then I don't know. I feel like I would have liked it better like that, but it's still like it didn't bother me. I was just like, I was there for the ride.
I will say that I started getting very confused in the last quarter. And maybe I'm just a big dum-dum, which is very possible. But I was like, what now? No. Okay. And what now? Like, I was a little confused. Like, I think I get it overall what happened, but
I think that I just am always confused by the books I reread. So like this one is a little less confusion than some of the ones I read. So I was just like chilling. Okay. Because what was that one? The house in the whatever with the skin boats. That one could not tell you what happened in that book. Literally so confused. Couldn't tell you.
It was almost like so confusing. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
I know, but I didn't like that.
I was like,
I didn't like that.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I didn't love that book either, but I was like, I kind of went in like the writing style of that book. I was like, yeah, this book's gonna be like over my head. Like you could just tell. But yeah, this one I don't know. I was a little confused by the ending.
I did find it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You can go.
I was just going to say that I found it very interesting that Iris ended up pairing up with Tyler rather than her, like, than the other sister. Well, I know like the other sister had
Got
taken or whatever, but like I don't know. I was just so surprised that it was going to be like that. Tyler ended up being the one like pairing up with her to like figure out what was going on.
I was actually going to talk about Tyler too, because when Tyler first came in the book, I really did not like him at all. I very much detested his entire person. Why is he in here? Like literally leave. Like I wanted nothing to do with him. But then at the end, I was actually sad. So like I like that I actually to, like I wasn't like super like cut up about it, but like it definitely made me sad. So like the fact that I went from really not liking him at all to like being sad that he died, and at the end when they were like, "Oop, like I was like, we're gonna go get him back." What do you mean?
Oh, I forgot about that little bit at the end.
Yeah, I was like, okay, where's the sequel?
Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, like when she was like, because I left a note saying, "Meet me here, wait for me here," and I was like,
Literally, it made me sad for real. So the fact that I was sad, I found that impressive. That I went from really not liking him
to a good job of like humanizing that character, because he's such like a cocky asshole when you first meet him. I didn't think he was sticking around. I thought he's just going to be somebody they talk to.
But you can like see as his character develops, it's more of the industry that he's in that like makes him have to behave like that.
Molly, I don't mean anything, but I'm just saying that he's definitely a Leo. I'm calling it now. That's it.
That's fine.
Okay. I want to take offense. He's most definitely a Leo.
No, the only time I take offense to people saying Leos is when they're like, "Oh my god, I've not met a single Leo that I like."
You don't really radiate Leo energy like that. I feel like it's Leo men that are the bad ones. Anyways.
Oh, it's just men.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. But I do think they did a good job with him. I was really surprised that he died.
Oh.
Yeah, I was too. But I liked his backstory. I liked, it's not like a happy one, but
that he
showed another sibling relationship, and it showed, you know,
that he got to see his sister.
I wish that Vivi had gotten the same treatment though as Tyler. Like, I wish we would have gotten to like. It's not that I disliked her character, but I didn't get enough of her to.
I didn't like her much.
Feel anything.
I liked her, but I wanted more of her. Like I wanted to know more about her. I feel like she was
said, "I like her. I love her. I want some more of it."
Yeah.
But I feel like she was overlooked as middle children are. Like it was very much
poor Jan.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he saw his sister, oh my
God.
It's like you kind of he says something about it, and you're like, "Oh no, he's gonna find his sister in here." And then he does, and you're like,
I didn't even expect it. Like when it happened, I was like, "Oh."
No, I didn't either. Because when he brought it up, I was like, "Well, no, there's no way." Because she was like, so young,
carrying her goopy corpse around,
and I was like, "He's just gonna be disappointed." And then they do, and I'm like,
yeah, that's not like I was talking about the pacing and stuff, like the emotional aspects of the book and like the gore and the creepiness. Like those are all really strong points, and like the darker tones or the darker messages and themes, like their dad, like just losing it over them, like him being convinced that they came back and it's not them. And then to the point, like where he
and surprise, he was right.
Yeah, and you know it was, and then to find out that Gray, like, made him do it.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah, that was a good twist. That was actually my favorite twist. I think was that he was the guy wearing the skull, and that Gray, like. Gray's the villain of this story.
Yes,
absolutely. Yeah,
it's not anybody else. It's her.
Yeah,
because I mean, how I understood it was like she's the one, or well, whatever she was before she was Gray, or they, whatever they were.
Yeah,
lured the girl.
I'm trying to look.
Right?
They were like. They said like a specific word of what they were.
They're like changelings.
They said changelings.
Yeah. They're like shapeshifters.
So whatever they were like,
No.
whatever it looked like before, they lured the girls and like took them, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Like,
so like
right-
when you have a changeling, from what I understand, like from the folklore or whatever, like the being takes over and looks like the person that went away and comes back.
Yeah,
And,
and
like,
it's
the
usually
dad saw
children.
that.
That
And
was so good to me. Like when
I really liked
I'm a
that.
changeling, I was like, "What? That is so good!" Like,
but the crazy thing about that stuff is like that was like in the 1800s, like legitimately thought like if your child grew into like for a few years and had some kind of deformity or mental health issue or a mental disability or whatever, they would say it was like a changeling, and they would like leave them out to be
Right.
changed back or to die or whatever. Like it's a serious thing. But yeah, so I know Monica's asking some questions, but basically with them being changelings and whatever the being was from the start, maybe it keeps happening over and over again, and it just happens to be in gray this time, and then like just keeps happening over and over. I don't know. But then I think their dad figured out what was going on or suspected, and then when he died, he had like unfinished business.
Yeah.
And that's how he ended up.
He would get stuck in the halfway and be able to do what he had to do to get gray.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what happened. Like that's how you end up in the halfway world, is you have like unfinished business.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody
He didn't kill himself.
But that's
It's like
why
a
I was
purgatory.
not expecting for Tyler's sister to be there.
Yeah, me either. I don't know why
Right.
she was there still.
She might have been there because she knew that Tyler thought it was his fault, and she didn't want to
I
go
mean,
on until she could
like, it's
let
either
him know that
unfinished
it wasn't.
business or like someone can't let go of you in the real.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And that's why when she like hugged Tyler and he could finally let go, she disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Monica, he didn't really kill him. Like that was like the whole plot twist, is that Gray would actually kill him.
He did.
And that's why
but
he ended up in the halfway world, because obviously he was like, something's up with it.
he was essentially murdered. I mean,
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wrote the note that said, "I didn't want to do this," and they all thought it meant like he felt he had to, but he didn't want to. But actually, it was her.
Yeah.
like he couldn't do this as in like life anymore.
It was it was
Yeah,
her manipulating him.
And Monica was explained on page that like that's how you end up there. Like how Amy said, it's either you have like something unfinished or someone can't let go of you.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember where. I don't have my book on me, but it was on the page.
I only have the ER, so I think.
My book is not in the room with me.
Let me see.
I will say though that that does give a weird like it's a cool plot twist as far as the whole like his suicide not really being a suicide, but I don't honestly think I'm knowledgeable enough in that area to know if that's like not done well or if that's
I think it's just done in her way. Like it's not going to be specifically like changelings are in history or whatever. I mean, how they're related to fairies, but in a way that halfway world is kind of, it's like there's a lot of like flowers and nature and things like that. So it's not like, of course, it's not going to correlate or just like be a perfect thing. It's the author doing what she wants to do with it.
doing
You
her
know,
own spin.
Yeah.
yeah.
I really liked it. Yeah, and it says, I don't know what page this is because it's on my e-arc, but 80% of the way in, they do talk about how his sister, like what unfinished business as a kid had, like they didn't understand why she was there.
Yeah.
So on page, that's why they end up there. Like 80%.
I did feel like, I guess, when they introduced the whole thing of like their dad thinking that they were, I don't know, for lack of a better word, like possessed. They weren't themselves. And so I had that in my mind, and I thought I was going to be proven wrong, that it was actually something else. And then it was like, oh, okay. And when they're in the hospital, which very gross, and she like starts opening that scar on her neck, and she notices her skin. At that point, I was like, okay, well, there's clearly like, that was so gross. I was like, okay, clearly something's like taken over her.
But that's the part that gave me like major Wilder Girls vibes, like where they like grow like a second spine and shit. I was like, oh my god.
And they would like bloom the flowers out of all their like weird orifices, and I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I do love you all, but I'm really tired.
Okay.
Yes, it's
You're
Wednesday.
fine.
It's like
I have
It's your
work tomorrow.
bedtime. It's your bedtime. We get it. You're fine. Thank you for even like being on here for a bit with us.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to say hi.
Yeah.
Thank you, Molly. We love you.
Love you too.
Good night.
Sleep well.
I
Bye.
will.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about Monica's comment because the one part that made me take off half a star is I don't think it was fat phobia, but like what happened where they would like eat a lot and then not gain weight. Like it rubbed me the wrong way. It didn't trigger me, but I was like, something about this feels a little,
Yes.
I don't know, but it definitely did not come across as fat phobia to me at all. I just think that they had
Maybe not fat phobia, but like something. Like you're like
something, and I could see it being triggering. But then the drug and alcohol abuse didn't bother me because teens should know better about drugs. Like to me, like I don't know, as a teen. Like I know drugs are bad and alcohol is bad and some people abuse them and that's just how it be. And I think they talked about like it not being good to do that, and like obviously especially Vivi was trying to cover up a lot of her issues by doing that. So like I felt like it was okay. I don't know.
I feel like they were showing you here's a real unhealthy coping mechanism that Vivi
Yeah, like it didn't felt like it was like, oh, this is like you should do this.
It didn't feel romanticized or
no, it didn't feel like that to me.
I think that's the key of like, you know, having that sort of thing in books, like normalizing, I think, like, you know, occasional recreational use like that. Like the teens are going to do that. Like I'm not offended by that in books, but like, yeah, having like someone really like abusing those things and it being romanticized or like funny, that would come off wrong. But I don't feel like it was.
Yeah, it didn't.
Yeah, and Iris would say things to her, maybe even like in a joking way,
like,
but she would still be like, "Oh, let's do this, but not drunk," or you know what I mean. And still, like I think when people make a joke like that, they're trying to like get their point across, like, "Hey, you know, maybe we shouldn't be drinking at first thing in the morning."
And teenagers know that doing drugs and alcohol is bad and abusing it is bad. So like, I don't know, like it didn't bother me like that. Like that's like one of the first things that we learned in school. And if kids are gonna do it, they're gonna do it anyways, not because of a book. Yeah.
I see what you're saying, Monica, about the body, the representation and stuff. And I feel like as a fat person, I'm usually kind of like have my antenna up when I read things specifically like pertaining to that. And I do feel like the only thing that was weird, I mean, it's not uncommon to have protagonists that are thin and white and blonde. So I guess I wasn't just, I was just like, another one of these. But, you know, I wasn't like offended that the protagonists were, you know, thin and blonde. But I did, Deja, there's something weird. And I was like,
I watched
on it, but I don't like the whole, like, we just eat meat.
And then don't gain weight. It just, I don't know, something about it. Even Kayla said that in her vlog too. She was like, I don't think it's taken away, but she was like, something about it feels weird and she can't put her finger on it, but it feels weird. And
like I see it being put in there to make them seem like inhuman or like give that hint away. But I feel like
that's all it was.
There are other ways they could like that. And
I know like it didn't really like I took off half a star mostly for that, but like it didn't trigger me. And I know Molly has a lot of issues with like body image too, and like disorderly eating, and I have a bad problem with disorderly eating. And it didn't, as I said, it didn't trigger me. And I assume it didn't trigger Molly because their rating was 5 out of 5. So, yeah, I feel like it could be triggering, but like it also wasn't like too. I don't know. It was weird, and I would have preferred if it wasn't in there, but it didn't like bother me, and it didn't seem like fat phobia. It just seemed like not good things to tell teenagers.
I was gonna say, it seemed more, if anything, like just like not a great message about disordered eating.
Yeah. And like how we talk about how the drug and alcohol abuse was like not romanticized. I felt like that a little bit was romanticized, especially like, oh, like we can't gain weight. And then like Gray, obviously herself she's kind of romanticized and like
Oh yeah.
how they're inhuman. I feel like that part, it was like a little bit romanticized to just like binge eat all this food, and I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really why I took off half a star. I was not a fan. It didn't, again, like it wasn't triggering and it didn't seem like that phobia. It just rubbed me the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they had said something on the page or been like so glad I can eat all this food and never get fat, I'd be like, fat phobia. You know what I mean? But it was kind of just like, it was implied.
I think it was just to make them seem inhuman, but like I feel like there would have been a better way to go about that.
Yeah. I agree.
You know what? A lot of real human people can eat a shit ton of food and never gain weight.
Literally, all the girls at my school.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I just
I can look at a piece of pizza and I have somehow gained weight from it. I mean, that's fine, but you know, all different.
But I was gonna say, Monica, I disagree because like as someone, like I'm only 18, so like I feel like YA a lot of times is like too immature for actual teenagers. Like I grew out of YA when I was like 15. And I know like I'm a little bit more mature, but like a lot of my friends now, like when they were like 16, 17, like they weren't reading. If they did read, they didn't really want to read YA. Like they're literally out here watching 50 Shades of Grey and 365, like 365 days on Netflix. Like they don't want to read about like stuff like that. Like they want something real. They want to see kids going to parties and like being actual teenagers, not like something.
Yeah.
Like that's why I liked it, because even though like I don't think it was romanticized, but I feel like it was in there and it made it more real, especially because her sister was older than her anyways.
Yeah, her sister's like 20 or something.
Yeah, so I feel like it, especially because this was supposed to take place in the UK, and at 18 they can drink. So I feel like she was.
I think this would definitely qualify as older YA. It's just darker. The youngest character is 17. The other ones are all older.
Yeah.
You know, it's more like new adult, really.
Yeah, and kids, like, unfortunately, deal with very adult things at a very young age. So I don't think I think having middle grade and young adult books that address more serious things and at an age appropriate kind of level is good, because you have 10-year-olds having babies, little kids being molested by family members, their father is an alcoholic, like they deal with this anyways. So why can't they have like something to relate to or learn from or
that's why I like darker themes in YA books. I don't know, like I feel like because like it's more relatable. Like we don't really want to read about like like Laura Jean from like To All the Boys I Loved Before. Like no 17-year-old wants to read about her letters getting sent out and her being a goody two shoes, because most of us are not like that. Maybe we read that when we were 14 or 15 when we were actually in that place, but at 16, 17, 18, that's not is like
realistic.
We can drive, we have jobs, like we're actually going out doing things. So I feel like it's just natural to include darker topics, because like I don't know, like teens now, like we get exposed to things like super early. Like I literally, this girl showed me like, I don't want to say the word, like sexual video content when I was in kindergarten. She was like, she came over to my house and she was like, I have something to show you, Deja. And I was like, okay. And so I was like, hey mom, like can I have your computer? Like my friend wants to show me this game or something. My mom was like, yeah, like that's fine, just like whatever. And so I got the computer and she literally put sexual video content and showed it to me on my computer when I was in kindergarten. Another kindergartner. I was like, where? What is this?
I'm never letting my child leave the house.
I'm so sorry
get on the computer.
And then when I went into 4th grade, I went to a Catholic school, and that was like the worst. Like literally, the school went up to 8th grade, but at 4th grade you could start going to the dances, which were in the basement underneath the church, and kids were literally on the sides with the chaperones were not paying no attention. They were literally like all on top of each other, like right there. And I was in 4th grade, and I was like, what is going on right now? Like I'm just trying to dance on the floor, like I don't know what's going on. Like, and these kids were literally on the side, like literally like dry humping each other.
Yeah, that's why I think like books like and things like that, it's a good opportunity if it's done right to, you know, have something for these kids to learn from or to connect to. And honestly, I was reading Stephen King before I was 13. I was reading way worse stuff, watching way worse stuff before I was 13 than this book.
And I'm just saying, though, like, my parents didn't do this really, so I can't really be like, I don't, like, I was reading, like, romance when I was, like, 13, 14, but if someone, like, I think parents should be in charge of keeping track of what their kids are and aren't reading. So, like, they should be, if they really have a problem, they think that it's going to be, something's going to trigger their child, they should look up about each book that they're reading. My parents didn't do that for me, and I'm fine. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't think it should be on the publishing industry and, like, the like, authors' shoulders to make sure their content is appropriate for 13-year-olds when YA goes up to, like, 17, 18. I think it's more, like, on the parents and the household to make sure that it's okay for them, because, like, 13 is, like, the youngest for YA. Like, that's what it should be, from 13 to 18. So, like, 17-year-olds and 13-year-olds are very different people.
Yeah, very different.
I will say that, like, respectfully, I think we are way too overprotective of teenagers right now, and they're it's like we grew up being like, oh God, I watched this and I read this and I did this and I could never let I can't believe. And it's like, well, you're fine though. Like, you turned out okay. Like, you all are saying, like, read Stephen King at a young age. Like, I was just a huge scaredy cat, or else I'd have been reading that. Like, I think we all, as, like, voracious readers, probably at a certain point, you start being able to read beyond, like, your reading level is much higher than the content level. And you're like, okay, I'm 8, but I can read at a 12-year-old reading level, and I'm tired of books about cupcakes or something, you know? So it's, you know, trying to find something, you know, like, whatever, cute.
I literally read in 5th grade, I was 11. I remember reading the school Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, which is about a college freshman when I was in elementary school. So, like, and I'm fine. I mean, I wouldn't.
Monica, like, I totally understand what you're saying, and obviously, like, if it was your children, like,
don't let them read it.
You just you know, not let them read that if you had a problem with it. I just think like that it's not. I think
that kids are exposed to so much with the internet that, like, they know drugs and alcohol exist. They know they're bad, and, like, they're probably, a lot of them are already around it by that age. So, like, I don't think like keeping it out of books would really do anything specific.
It just sort of sanitizes it, and it's like, it doesn't feel. Not that it has to be in a book to feel real, but in a setting like that, like, if it's in there, like, I mean, I bought it, it's fine. Like, I don't feel like it was unnecessary, and I also don't feel like it was romanticized, which I think is the biggest problem, is having it in a book, not a big deal. Romanticizing it for teenagers, problem.
Different.
That's all I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I feel like the content in the book is definitely pretty age appropriate, because when you think of anything like a movie or anything that's PG-13, there's going to be, like, some type of, like, sexual content or language or drug use or something in it. So it's like, I mean it's, they're exposed to it, whether it's in, like, TV media or online or, like,
your friends at school.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say this is inappropriate for any 13 to 17-year-old range, and especially with, like, our main character is 17, and then the other two are older. They're all 18 and above or whatever. So, I mean, for them to be
right, like, so Iris at 17 has to
they're of age for taking,
and Iris at 17 has to witness her sister be an alcoholic. So why?
Yes,
or, you know, like, it. Yeah, it's just.
And it wasn't the teen that was abusing it too, so I feel like that kind of helps, because obviously, like, literally, I know people, I have friends that literally have been abusing alcohol and drugs since I was, like, 15. So, like, obviously, like, it's gonna be in teenagers' lives. They're gonna know somebody that does. Like, it may not be a friend, it may not be a family member, but they're gonna know someone from school, unless they're, like, homeschooled, that abuses alcohol or drugs. They're gonna know something. Like, you can't shelter children like that. Like, it just doesn't.
I think teaching children about responsible how to be responsible with things like that is more effective. I mean, we could go into talk about abstinence-only sex education and how that doesn't fucking work, and how teaching people, it's like teens are going to have sex, teach them to be responsible about it instead of not speaking about it. And
I think it's getting better. I don't know, when I took health class, they were like, don't have sex, but here's how to protect yourself, but don't do it. So like it still wasn't great.
That was probably your teacher's like,
oh my god, I hated my teacher. Literally
probably didn't want to actually
we learned about it in middle school.
Yeah, those teachers are like dying inside.
They're like,
they already didn't want to do it. But I think I had a really, like, at least like my biology teacher or whatever at the time, I think she did a really great job at like teaching us. But I know that there are some teachers out there, or just like adults teaching kids about sex, that are just not doing it in the best way. Like you were saying,
in 8th grade, in our science class, towards the end of the year, we had to watch a video of a baby being born.
Oh my god, interesting.
And that was more horrifying than any sex ed class that I had in high school. I was like, absolutely not. And you should have seen, the boys in that class, a bunch of 8th grade boys, like, they were like, oh my god. Like, they thought it was like,
oh my god.
One of my guy friends was like, check out her bush. I was like, she's having
what?
a baby.
Oh, and it was full. And I was like, do you think that this woman has had time to maintain her pubic hair while she has been pregnant for 9 months? You just back right off of her.
She is bringing a life into this world.
Literally though,
she's gonna be walking funny for months. Leave her be.
Literally though, I went to school for the senior picnic yesterday, which is like the first time I've seen my classmates in over like a year and a half, and obviously we were almost like all there, so like all of the guys were together seeing each other, and I was like, I literally hate every single one of you. Like they were all yelling at each other, and they kept taking pictures, and they were like, oh, and I was like, literally, bye. I literally have to leave. I literally cannot do this. Like they were like screaming and like taking pictures, and they were trying to make us do a wave, and we weren't doing the wave, and they're like, what are you guys doing? And I was like, fuck you. Like absolutely not. No, literally, they were taking a picture, and I was in the back, and I was like, anyways. I literally don't like all of them. And there's this one guy that really triggers me. I don't know why, but he gives me, like, he won an award for, like, being the best in his business class and in his government class. And he literally gives me, like, sleazy business politician vibes, like, already. And he, like, you know who I'm talking about. Like, those sleazy, like, businessman politicians. Radiates those vibes, like the arrogance. He triggers me so hard. I went to middle school with him too, and just everything about all of them just rubs me the wrong way.
I feel like as I get older, and
he's going to my school.
More annoyed by them.
I don't know if he's going to my school, and like I know he's either going to major in business or political science, and if he majors in political science, he's going to probably be in my classes, and I don't want to see him. I'm simply don't want to, because all of the white men in political science classes are already trash, and I just don't want to see him.
Yep.
I just don't want to see him.
Yep.
I don't think anyone's gonna disagree with you, Dave.
Yesterday had me so triggered. I was like, I literally, and oh my gosh, wait, there's this TikTok, and it was so funny. I don't like to like talk bad about like girls or anything like that, but like these ones at my school have actually been like kind of terrible, so I feel okay about this. But this TikTok really like had me laughing so hard. Okay, look. Okay, look. When they actually, I was like, literally, this is like,
it's so ridiculous.
I can name like so many people that look exactly like that.
Why do I kind of look like that though? I don't like that.
When you don't,
I feel like I do. Maybe it's the blonde. I don't know. I mean, I look like trash right now, but
be careful with your words. We have only one male in the chat. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I will literally say I hate men to my own father. I do not give a
Same.
care.
Same. I say it to my husband all the time. He knows. I'm like,
Like, it's a general
men are awful, and I'm like, you really are. Like he'll just something, and he's just like,
I literally
Crap.
don't care. Like, my goal in life is to make men uncomfortable. Like, that is my goal. Like, because they make me uncomfortable, so I want to make them uncomfortable back. Like, as a group, they do. Like,
Fact.
all
go out of my way to do it, but it doesn't bother me. I think John's fine. If John's not fine, then I guess John could leave the chat. But
I think he can handle himself.
I think he can. He's fine.
And Monica, also, I feel like that is a problem, though. Like, she's saying that we're young, and her parents talk nothing about sex and drugs, and that she was misinformed, and that they didn't talk about any of that in their health education classes. Like, I feel like that's bad. Like, that's why I like books like this where it talks about it, because
Yeah.
kids are gonna have to deal with it. And, like, I'd rather them see in a book, like, oh, this is kind of not great that this person's in alcohol, than them coming across it in real life and literally having no knowledge about what's going on and not know how to deal with it.
Yeah, I feel like it's
sometimes it can, hopefully, I mean, like, these kids have someone to talk to, but like sometimes it can it could like jolt them into like asking something that they were afraid to ask before or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I know even parents, like, you don't want to talk to your kid about sex. Like, I get some parents uncomfortable.
No, you absolutely don't. My mom makes me so uncomfortable. Like, literally, she was like, whenever I would go hang out with my boyfriend, I guess, like, whatever. But, like, once I was like, I smelled like him. Like, why the heck? Like, that's so weird. Like, I smelled like him when I got home. And I was like, this is so weird. Like, why? And she was like, were you all on top of him kissing? I was like, literally, leave me alone. I have to go. I was like, you're making me so uncomfortable. Like, I hated everything about it. Like, it was, no.
My mom was just very much like, you can come and talk to me about anything.
That's how my mom is too, but she makes
tell me shit. She was just like,
she's like, I'm gonna make them making out noises. She was like, were you all kissing on him? I was like, literally, bye. I'm going to my room. Absolutely not going to talk to you right now. That makes me uncomfortable. Don't do that to your children, please.
No. Mine never talk to me. So, so I mean, I feel like I suffered for that. I wish someone would have talked to me about things.
No, I mean, I appreciate that she talks to me about things, but she makes me so uncomfortable with how she does it. I feel like she knows and she does it on purpose. I'm like,
that's probably what most parents do.
I don't like that. Don't do that to your kids. It's not nice.
Yeah.
No. I don't like to be uncomfortable.
Mine was, my dad was like, hey, Carol, are you doing it? And I was like, what? He's like, just be careful. That was our conversation.
No, literally, though, right when I went to tell my parents that him and I broke up, I was like, Mom, I have to tell you something. And she's like, are you pregnant? And I was like, absolutely not. Like, why is that always her first thought? When I'm like, I have to tell you something, she's like, you're pregnant. And I was like, literally, no. I'm so sorry.
Ruling out her worst case scenario.
I guess. And I'm just saying,
it's like that burn, build thing. So it's like, let me just think of the worst possible thing. So no matter what it is, yeah.
And I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I have to live on campus my first year and I'm already paying for housing. What am I going to do? Bring a baby into my freaking door? Absolutely not. I'm not trying to be rude to anybody who doesn't believe in abortion, but I would yeetus that fetus so quickly. I'm so sorry.
Jesus.
I'm so sorry. But, like, my mom wouldn't know and it would be gone. I'm so sorry. Absolutely no. What am I supposed to do? I'm not bringing a child with me to the dorm.
Absolutely. Oh my God.
You're probably not allowed.
What did I just put into?
I'm sorry. For anybody who doesn't agree,
we have not been talking about the book for like the last.
No, but I feel like we were talking about stuff, themes in the book.
Relating to it. Absolutely. But hi,
oh my God. Also,
John, that's so sweet.
Yeah, that is really, really sweet. That is, yes.
Not someone saying I can hide this. Not someone saying I could hide it in my dorm. What am I gonna do? Like, you know, some people like will bring like snakes or reptiles and put them in plastic tubs and underneath their bed at their dorms. Am I supposed to do that with a baby? What am I supposed to do with that? No.
Now, Deja, you just you would make a drawer up and in your dresser as a little crib, and you would push it almost closed but not quite at nighttime, and just
Yeah. Do it that way.
Oh, God. Well,
You just the fetus. I'm so sorry.
that.
Mm.
Oh, God, dude. We need to get on a new topic.
It's not a coffee maker.
It's like a hot plate. They just had from the RAs.
That's what she hiding hot plate.
Lord, can you just put her in a Rubbermaid container with no lid and just put some blankets
Literally, like
right
that's
under there?
You can leave them at the fire department. I threaten my kid all the time.
I just brought that up like 2 days ago to my husband. I was like, is it too late to drop her off at the fire?
No,
it's never too late.
What is a late term abortion?
murder.
Yeah, that's just murder.
But that's
my husband is a firefighter, and I always joke that I'm just gonna drop the kid off one day, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, your kid's here again."
Yeah.
Oh, it's just Carol again, dropping her son off.
Damn it! Kid here again.
Like, I know that I have 24 hours before I have to come get you, and Mama needs a break.
I'm like peeling out of the driveway.
Yeah. My dad's here. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
Absolutely. She would never know. My mom would never, ever know unless it was good news. But right now, no. Sorry, Mom. It would be gone before you even knew. I
My
would tell
mom
you.
would do anything for me to get pregnant right now. And I'm like, Mom, I don't want any kids. And she's like, oh my God.
Tell her to just get a dog.
yeah, get a dog. Tell her to get a dog.
Yeah, everyone her age has grandchildren, and I'm like, look, sorry.
Borrow one of theirs.
This shit doesn't work right, so it's not gonna happen. So like,
No, it doesn't work right. Someone dropped their child off at the police station and they were 13. As I said, it's never too late.
right?
Yeah, a 6-year-old dropped off.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if my mom tried to drop me off now, and I'm literally an adult.
She only has to hang in there a few more months.
They're like, ma'am, she's a legal adult now.
You can figure out.
No, I want to drop this off now.
Like, lady, this girl talks back too much. Get her out.
You said you take kids. This is my kid.
Yeah.
Take her.
This one said, "You just the fetus. You got to take her. We can't have that around here."
Literally. No, someone was like, I was telling somebody something about my school, like how finals and exemptions work, and they were like, Deja, like, I'm not gonna remember that, like, in one ear out the other. And I was like, you expected me to think that you'd remember it. Like, why would I think that you'd remember it? Like, I don't even think my parents remember my middle name. Like I literally get surprised if they know my middle name, my phone number, my birth date. Like, I literally don't expect anything.
Well, I mean, they birthed you and are raising you. They should know your middle name.
My dad barely knows my first name.
That
He
is
gets mixed up between me and my sister. And when I tell you, it's not like we look alike. Like, she's my half sister, literally white pasty color of paper. So it's not like we look the same. And she's very much pregnant. So we don't look the same. And I'm not Ashley, and he still be calling me Ashley.
That's just any situation, though.
That's what I'm saying, though, is like, that's what he doesn't even remember who I am.
My brother's wife, her name is April, and obviously I'm Amy, and he will forever start to call me April and her Amy, and he's like, oh God.
As long as it's not in the bedroom.
Yeah.
I'd be like, if you ever slip up, never tell me that.
Yeah. Oh God, that would be the worst.
I don't think that would ever happen. I think he would just walk into traffic if that happened.
No, walk into traffic.
Late term abortion.
Yeah, late from abortion myself.
Literally.
We're being really awful right
We
now.
are.
Yeah, we really are.
At all.
See, but this is like my type of humor, and people. Yeah.
I'm so sorry if we've offended you. We really are nice people. Do I look like an April?
I wouldn't say that I'm a nice person, but you guys are.
I would say,
No, I know I'm nice to you guys, but like, I'm not nice to most people. Being nice and being a good person are two different things.
I agree.
Being nice to most people is really hard. It's
I'm
really,
not
really hard
nice
to
to
be
the
nice to
majority of
most
people.
people.
Yeah, most people bum me right the hell out.
Oh, same. Oh my
I'm like,
gosh.
thank goodness for this
I hate
mask
people.
because if you
And
guys
I
could
work with
see
people.
my, like, thank goodness for the mask because if they could see my facial expressions, I swear. And now the governor says that people can't wear, like, they don't have to wear masks.
Mhm.
So every time I see people without wearing masks, I literally make a face at them on accident, but they can't even see because I still wear mine.
Mhm.
Except at my school, like, they were like, oh, you guys have to keep on your mask all the time. And we did when we were inside. But then when we went outside, when I tell you it was like 90 degrees and we were all sweating and we could not breathe, I was like, I'm so sorry. I am pulling my mask down very much. I am vaccinated, but I can't do this.
I just want a big button that's just like vaccinated and proud so that I can walk around without my mask on and be like, it's fine. Just hold up my little card at all times. I'm like, I promise I'm not an asshole. I just,
It was
I've actually
terrible.
found it's weird because I work at a grocery store, so I wear mine like all day.
sure.
I feel like it's like almost a comfort thing now. Like I don't even
I
wanna
like
get
wearing
rid of it.
masks.
I'm
I
not
like
ready to
wearing
get rid of this. Like, I don't know. They might just one day, like, we'll walk in and they'll be like, you don't need to wear them anymore. And then I'm just gonna be like, I don't want to stop. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to have to smile at
You
people.
don't have to.
I don't want people telling me to smile. I just
What really shakes me though, like has me shook and shaken, is like not when people don't wear their mask, but like when people who are working don't wear their mask. Like if I go to a business and the people working don't wear their mask, I get confused. Like I went to the bank and the lady wasn't wearing her mask, and I was like, okay, like I know that the governor says you don't have to wear them, but like if I owned a business, I'd be like, absolutely not. You are putting those masks on. Okay, we are not going to look like anti-vaxxers. Okay, absolutely not.
no. Yeah, you can still pass it. I'm luckily enough, like I'm not around anyone other than like my two friends and their parents are vaccinated as well. So it's like those are the only people I really hang out with. Like I don't have any friends where I live. I live somewhere like not where I grew up. So I mean,
yeah, everybody that I
and like
are vaccinated.
I wouldn't have to worry about passing it to anyone.
Yeah.
Other than people that come into my work. So then I guess in that case I would probably just still wear one until.
Yeah, this was
I don't know.
Circumstance. Okay, it was just
But
so.
There's so many people in my town that don't want to do it.
Well,
So
here's the thing.
at what point am
Uh-huh.
I like protecting someone who doesn't want to protect themselves?
I'm at that point. I've been at that point. I live in rural Tennessee, and about 70% of the population here hasn't gotten one and isn't going to. I mean, everybody can get a vaccine. I mean, and I don't want this to become like a conversation about vaccines and masks and
Right.
it shouldn't, but you know, I'm vaccinated. Everybody I know and see is vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I'm around other vaccinated people, of course I'm not going to wear my mask anymore.
Right.
If I go into a store, I still wear my mask. I have eaten in a couple of restaurants, which I did not do for 14 months. And I wear the mask when I go in, and then I don't wear it when I'm eating, like they ask you to. And for me, I'm like, okay, so I live in an area where maybe 30% of the people are going to be vaccinated. Maybe 35 would be pushing it. So am I just going to wear a mask forever?
Right.
Or am I going to start acclimating back to a new normal? Because 70% of people around me at any given time are not vaccinated and they're not going to get vaccinated.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's my like how I feel about it too. I'm like, obviously I want to protect other people, but then at what point do you just say like, well, I mean, like you should have already done it then. Like I don't know what to.
Yeah. And they're not.
Really
I live in an area where they're not gonna. They don't.
Right. My biggest concern is my kid, though, who can't get a vaccine.
And
so
see, that's the thing.
And,
is if you're
and
living
to be
through
fair,
the
like COVID aside, like that come this winter, like or whatever the progress is, it's warmer. First of all, keeps my face warm, and second of all, like there wasn't other illness, like less of other illnesses because
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so I don't. I mean,
I agree
think
with
we just have
Monica.
to
I
do
think
it.
it's going to be
I
like
like
other
the
countries like China and stuff that have used masks, all this, like where it's pretty common for people to use masks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
especially
definitely
during
gonna keep
like
wearing
flu
my mask.
season.
When I was just saying that it was hot and humid, and I literally felt like I was suffocating.
Right.
And I was also I was walking while eating like a snow cone in a cup. So like I was eating while eating. So, yeah.
Yeah. I
But
mean, there are
literally,
definitely times that I'm not wearing
the parent volunteers weren't wearing masks. The teachers took off their masks. The students, because they said that we couldn't, we were eating outside and then doing other stuff outside, and they said we didn't have to wear them when we were eating. But like after we were eating, we just were like, okay, like I guess we're just gonna all accept that we're all hot and suffocating.
Yeah.
But that was like
the only time that I'm like, oh my god, I can't.
And I wasn't that close to anybody. We would just like walk past each other. Like when we were inside, we were sitting in bleachers, so we were like right next to each other. Absolutely not. I was not gonna take off my mask then. No, not inside and not sitting next to people.
Right.
But literally, I saw this TikTok today where this girl was like talking about getting a vaccine and like how there was like chips in it and how she was gonna get chipped, and then she asked that she didn't want the vaccine, and they were like, you understand then that you're gonna be killed, and she was like, yeah, I know that I'm gonna get killed for not putting the vaccine.
Yeah, I've seen that.
She went to heaven and God was like, thank you for being a good like
servant or something. That was weird. Like, yeah, he called her like a servant or something like that. It was it was such a weird. Yeah,
I'm sure she has a cell phone
around too. I've seen all the ones making fun of it. It's pretty hilarious. There are people out there though that believe that. That is just insane.
Like, I don't understand how you can genuinely believe that. Like, it actually has me shook. Like, they don't need to put chips in you. You already have phones. Literally,
you don't need it. You already are.
Come on. What were we talking about the other day, Carol? Like, your phone was listening to us because we brought up something.
Oh.
I forget what it was, but we were on the sprints talking about something, and then I got an ad for something.
Yeah, it was for a book or something.
It was
I remember you saying my phone was listening because now I just have this.
It was something I saw on Amazon too. It was so weird because I never searched it or anything.
Right. It was just us talking.
It always listens.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm okay with it. I have nothing to hide.
I have nothing to hide.
I brought up dinosaurs the other day because my daughter's like obsessed with dinosaurs now because she watched The Land Before Time. So she calls all dinosaurs Sharptooth, and she's just been running around saying Sharptooth. And so I brought up dinosaurs because I was telling somebody about it, and I literally got like all these ads for like little like they're like gemstone dinosaur necklaces or something like that. And I'm like, I didn't search this at all, but yeah.
I do want to say real quick, like in the comments, Monica, I agree. I think masks are going to be around for a long time. I think that is going to just become the new semi-normal, at least, because
I'm a sickly person and I would get sick like 2 to 3 times a month. I've literally gotten sick like 1 or 2 times, and they weren't even that serious since we started wearing masks. And one, I don't go out that much anyways, but I feel like this fall, come those classes, you better bet I'm gonna be wearing my mask to class. You are not.
And I work a job where I go into high schools, and every week I go into high schools. I'm going in and out, and I used to be sick 4 or 5 times a year, and I haven't been sick in the last year and a half, and I will 100% be wearing them. And I mean, it's just like, it's not even.
I feel like we should.
It's not even a huge thing anymore to me.
I don't want to be sick. Absolutely not.
No, I don't want COVID, and I don't.
Feel like the only thing. I think the only time I wouldn't wear a mask is like I know I have to take like 2 physical education classes, so like some of them are swimming though, but I think I'm gonna take kickboxing.
Just thinking of you.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Swimming in a mask? No. No.
They're like wetsuit material ones. Like,
no. But you know what triggers me? Like the people that wear like the big sunglasses that come down and like cover their face. Have you seen those? Like they're sunglasses and then it comes down and it's like a shield over their face. But they're usually like duochrome, like big, gaudy. And I'm like,
I saw like one of those the other day, and I was like, whoa, that's weird.
It's a storm.
I also live by the ghetto, so people beware. I don't know. Being an asthma, yeah, I literally have asthma too, and I don't know if it would kill me, but if it does, you know, it's my time to go. I'm just saying. I'm out.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those puppies. How cute.
So
That's
cute.
I feel so bad mine have to be locked up, but like there's literally a snake. I don't even know. I mean, it probably took off by now, but I'm too scared to let the dogs out.
Yeah, that's
You
so
need to go out.
scary.
Do you need to go out?
It was weird. It was like my dog was just barking and he was like, he dug himself underneath like my back patio and he was just barking and barking and barking. So I thought maybe there were little bunnies because trauma. One time he, got a little bunny one time under there. Yeah. So I was like afraid. I wanted to save the little bunnies. And then all of a sudden, like out of like the brick, it's like that brick underneath our house because our home is kind of like a manufactured home on permanent foundation.
Uh-huh.
But like there's like brick and then all out like pops this little snake head. And it's like, and I was like, ah! So I was like, get inside now.
Are y'all going to be on for a little while longer? Because I need to take these little pups out. But if we're wrapping up, then I'll probably just.
Oh, we probably should start talking about the book again.
Yeah.
We're way off topic. Way off topic. Is there anything that anyone wants to bring up?
I really liked it, even though that one thing did rub me the wrong way. But I liked everything else.
Yeah. I think overall, like not just within the Stacks of Strange group and people like reading along with the book, I've seen, like we said earlier, it's got a high rating on Goodreads. I've seen a lot of people like it. So it just was middle of the road for me, though. I don't know. Maybe it was the mood I was in, too. You know.
I almost feel like it's a book, if I read a second time, I'd actually like it even more. But I don't know.
I ate it up.
I really enjoyed it.
I really read that quick.
Yeah. And I thought it was a super quick read, too. It was such an easy read. Like, I was flying through it, and I'm not a fast reader at all.
I think I would definitely, like, if she writes something else that comes out and is, like, supposed to be weird and creepy, I would definitely read it because I think she did the creepy stuff really well.
She did. Absolutely. And, like, just I think it was, like, really interesting, that whole halfway world that she, like, made up. That was really cool. That's something that, like,
I really liked it.
Yeah. I think that's why it reminded me of, like, Shauna Maguire. Like, I just felt like that would be like a alternate world, like in one of the Wayward Children.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Monica, I agree. I don't really read YA that much, so I was surprised I really liked this one. But in general, I just don't really read it. Even though a lot of our books coming up are going to be YA, but I'm really excited for them.
They really are.
Yeah, I'm really excited for them.
Yeah.
I don't like YA contemporary coming of age stories. Those piss me off. I hate that.
Yeah, I think I have harder time with that, or like YA romance and stuff. I just don't, I can't relate to it anymore. Like, I'm just too old for that. But when it comes to like YA that's like magical realism or fantasy, like, I mean, there's other elements to it that are.
Yeah, I try to, like, I don't pick it up that much. But, like, I try to pick up ones that I know that I'm going to like. Like, The Year of the Witching is a YA horror, and I love that book.
So good. It's so good.
And it's so scary to me because organized religion scares me.
It was scary.
Girl said, no. I'm glad other people like it, but not for moi. Absolutely not. You no.
Yes, our September pick is YA. Is A Lesson in Vengeance YA or young, or is it?
I think it's YA. I think both August and September I think are both YA.
Oh, okay. Not yes,
I don't think Creatures of Passage is.
No,
I believe that.
A Lesson I can check. I think A Lesson in Vengeance is YA.
Oh, okay.
I'm so excited for August and September. Like the the Jake Livingston one seems so good, and I have an arc of it, so I have to read it anyways.
But I hadn't heard of it until you guys brought it up.
Yeah, it's young adult. It's young adult, and it's LGBTQ. A Lesson in Vengeance. It has a 4.33. I mean, it hasn't come out yet.
Nice. I think it was I think the reason I ended up adding it to like our like list on the Google Doc was because Kayla had talked about it. I think it was like an anticipated release for her or something.
Yeah.
And she likes weird stuff, so I usually go to her channel and look at like what book she wants to read because she tends to like weird books.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Jake Livingston one, but also kind of wary because I feel like a lot of like thriller horror books that have like commentary about race, I usually don't like. But I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
So like I didn't really like When No One Is Watching, and what was that one that we read? Lakewood. Lakewood was okay. It didn't even have that much race commentary, honestly.
Not as much as you were expecting, huh?
Yeah, I'm really, really excited for this one. But like also like I like those types of books. Well, I want to like those types of books, but also like I feel like it's kind of being used as like a ploy now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as someone who's obviously not a person of color, I kind of felt that way too, but I never want to, like,
you don't want to like, yeah.
It's not my place to say, and I don't know what their intent is, but also I know that publishers can be really shitty, and like they're out to make money, so they'll do whatever they can to make.
Yeah, it's kind of being used as a ploy now, but like if it's like own voices representation, like I feel like I can't really, it's not a ploy then, like it is,
yeah.
but like it's not. So
I think it comes down to the way they market it too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but so it feels a little weird, but also like I'm kind of intrigued. So I don't know. I think I like it in a sense that it's creating more representation within those genres, but then also like I kind of wish that we could also just have books with Black main characters that weren't about their race, like just like them doing like them, I don't know, like
more than just being put down for racist things or whatever. Like
I wish like there could just be like a horror thriller with like a Black main character without it being about race, but like also like most Black people's life is about race, so like it's hard to separate the two. So it's a hard, difficult kind of topic because again, like Black people always deal with race like on a daily basis, so it's hard to just make a book that doesn't have it in it. But like I also sometimes don't want books that are just like I like having them, but I also wish that there were some that were just like a Black main character just doing their thing, living their life. Yeah. I wish there were just more of both.
Yeah. John doesn't have Instagram, I don't think so. He doesn't know the next pick. So in July, we are reading Creatures of Passage, and I will totally butcher the author's name. So I don't want to try and say it.
Morora? Yeah, no. I was going to try.
Moroa? Yeah, it's going to sound terrible when I say it because I don't know how to talk. But just look up Creatures of Passage. It's got like this really cool blue cover with like a car on it. And then we are reading The Taking of Jake Livingston in August by Ryan Douglas. And then A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee in September. But in June, we're obviously not going to have a pick. We're going to be doing Strange-a-thon, which will be the Read-a-thon.
You should post the not to like tell you what to do with your channel, but post the little graphic of the 3 books on your community tab.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Community tab.
Raine's like, how do I do that? Okay, go to your YouTube.
Sorry.
Go to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Then go to your channel. Like you know how like you click your little picture in the corner and then it pops up with the menu. You can go to your channel.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the community tab. Like when it goes to your channel, there'll be like home, videos, playlist, community.
Hold on, sorry, it's making me sign in. Oh, forget it. You can tell me after.
Okay.
It's like making.
You can even do it like from the app too. Like when you're in YouTube and you hit like the little plus button, it'll say create a post, and you can do it.
Okay. Okay, I'll try that out after.
I also still need to edit my Strange-a-thon announcement video. I've just been lazy.
It's totally fine.
I think I'm gonna do it tonight.
I will have like a little recommendations.
It's only like 5 minutes. So
next week. It'd be fun. Yeah, I don't I'm terrible at like technology. I'll figure it out though.
Yeah, I'll show you. I can share my screen and show you after.
Thank you so much.
I think that's
Any other final thoughts on the book? Amy, you have anything to say since you're back?
Sorry, no. I just had to take those. They woke up and I thought I think they need to go out, so we just took them on a very brief little walk. No, I think I'm good. Participating Strange-a-thon, June 21st through June 27th.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting. Raine and I have announcement videos. Carol has an announcement video now.
Yeah.
I'm posting mine soon.
Mm-hmm.
Soon.
So excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still do not know all the YouTube tools. I don't.
So are you all talking about putting that image just on our YouTube feed?
Yeah, on the community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raine was like, "What community tab?"
Yeah, I have no.
I don't use that a ton. I mean,
I want to use it more than I do, but
I think I don't have like extra time a lot of the time just to like test out things or explore things. So I just, I'm kind of figuring it out as I go.
To just like make a video and put it up. There will be a new video tomorrow. My June TBR
Nice.
tomorrow at 7:30 EST. Monica wants to know live show or sprints. We've not announced that.
I feel like we would do more of a sprints than live show because we don't have a group book.
Yeah, I think we're just doing a live on June 26th. I think that ended up being the best.
Live on Saturday and just like doing some games.
Just
and
talk about the read-a-thon.
Talking about what they've been reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that we're.
I'm just gonna
know for sure. I think some of us are just gonna do
random sprints throughout the month.
I'll definitely do sprints.
Yeah, I'm going to. I think. Yeah.
I don't find
my
work schedule. Yeah, I don't find out my work schedule until like 3 weeks before. Yeah. So like I couldn't tell you when I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing for the read-a-thon is there's like a tic-tac-toe board, so you can like
I keep forgetting about
off different challenges and things. Yeah, Kat put it together. So there's like listen to a weird podcast, participate in a reading sprint. So for that reason, I didn't want to do just one reading sprint in the month of June. I would like us all, and not all of us have to do it. Whoever. Any one of the hosts who want to do it, just host reading sprints throughout the month. And you can like just put Strange-a-thon in the title or whatever. And then that way, if someone participates in one of the hosts' reading sprints, then they have that challenge.
Yes, like, and I think some people said they were going to do them on Instagram, on their channel. Yes. I guess they could do it on the Sacks of Strange Instagram instead of like their own private.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can if they want to. And even like if they wanted to like, have two people on there. One could be on their account.
Yeah. I think it'd be good if we came up with just like the 8 of us came up with a little schedule and maybe just throw it up the week before so that you all know. Yeah. Crystal's gonna do some Instagram sprints on Thursday, or something. Right. So you've got a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I just don't think that we can do it this early. But
just because of the date schedules. But we will be doing some sprints, and I think the plan is to do a live show that Saturday, just to play games and chat,
just to hang out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That way we can just go completely off topic if we want. I mean, we already did today.
Nothing stops us.
I love it. I love it. We just have a good time.
Me too.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna just have some impromptu like sprints. It really just depends on what I'm able to do. Like my schedule's not as like set each week, but I'll figure it out.
I think Robin wants sprints. Robin wants to lead some sprints, I think.
Yeah, I think she does. She loves reading. She's already got her book up here. She's ready.
She's ready. She's like, Mama.
She loves
Mommy, you said reading sprint. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's read now. Okay, how long are we reading for?
10 minutes? 5? Just a 5. Just a quickie. Just a quick sprint.
Mwah.
Sweet girl.
blowing kisses to everyone.
Thank you, Dawn. We'll start incorporating our announcements more on our YouTube channels. So make sure you subscribe to us, and you'll see it on somebody's channel, if not.
Hopefully, like a community tab or something.
Yeah, and we'll have some recommendations too for the readathon that will come out. So then some of you who haven't like figured out your TBR completely, or you're having trouble fitting a book into your film.
Recommendations.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with us.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It's always a fun time. Robin's gonna send it with a kiss.
He's such a sweetheart.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see you guys
Next
month for the read-a-thon.
Yes. We'll just random sprints throughout the month. So just keep up with the Stacks of Strange Instagram, because we'll just repost them all there.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, everyone.